when you're looking at the head of the crane and the bill, and you're looking at just the crown area there and the color, and when you're looking him in the eye, I don't know, that's just maybe that, fascinating is probably not the right word, but that's the moment when it feels probably the most special. It looks like they're looking at you, and maybe they are. Their visual acuity is pretty darn good. There's a certain wonder. It's like, what are you thinking? You know, if we could actually talk to each other, I'm sure you probably think it's like, you're interesting, don't come closer. I'm sure it's something like that, right? But it's just a really interesting view. I can picture it in my mind right now. It's just stunning. I always enjoyed the cranes. I enjoyed the sound flying overhead. I do feel fortunate to be a native of Southeast Arizona and a multi-generational native. It's gave me the opportunity as an adult to really appreciate it. And with the Wings Over Willcox Birding and Nature Festival, I am, you could say, the chairperson, as well as one of the field trip leaders and all the various other things that might help it along. You can be out there and all of a sudden you realize, I'm not here by myself. There's actually 40 or 50 other people sitting about on benches, or some people sitting on the ground, or some people are standing over here at a viewing deck, 100 feet down. And you're all kind of in that moment together. But even if it's just yourself, it's still, you're just feeling part of something bigger than yourself. Sandhill cranes, while they're here on winter vacation, when the sun comes over the mountain, either a little bit before or a little bit after, they're ready to go out and find places to forage. And nowadays, modern foraging habitat is generally agricultural fields, any sort of grain fields. There's corn out here. Alfalfa fields can sometimes be used for foraging. So they go to where the food resources are and they eat. Sometimes they'll stay in the area, find an area to loaf. They say just loafing, hanging out, relaxing, preening, taking care of your feathers. I mean, that's an important task. Your feathers help you to fly, but they also protect you from weather. And so they hang out and they might interact with each other. Sometimes they'll do a little bit of dancing or a little bit of a agitated display with a neighbor they're not so happy with. Then when it gets close to dark, if they're not at the spot they're going to roost, they might move just, quarter mile or a few hundred feet even to an area in the water, and then they spend the rest of the night there. They're very vocal, and we talk about the vocalizations. Trumpeting and bugling are one of the terms that are used to describe it because it's French horn. They've been compared to French horn sometimes. You'll see these family units, generally 3 birds. It'll be the father and the mother and the offspring for that year. But they're definitely part of a larger society in a sense, or a larger social system. Here in Southeast Arizona with the clouds and the skies we have, it is, I just love looking up because you see the cranes, but then you get all these different colors of the sky. And as the sun is setting, the colors are changing in the clouds. And the clouds themselves, depending how thick they are and how fluffy they are, what kind of cloud they are. And then the mountains themselves and how they change color, that can still give me goosebumps. And I've seen that, over a fair portion of my life, and you can't beat it.